Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello everyone and welcome back to Le Chanel, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Monday. Wonderful Monday for me. 0 goals conceded in the Premier League, 3 games in, having an absolute blast. Watching what I'm watching right now with Liverpool Football Club and with what's going on at everyone else's club, because there's only one other guy on the panel alongside me that's actually fully happy right now. But yeah. In other news, Vel bottled the banner. Make sure you guys are liking and subscribing. Everyone subscribe to the channel. Make sure you subscribe. Well done, Vel. Well done, Vel. Make sure you guys are liking and subscribing. I paid money for this, Vel, you absolute idiot. Make sure you guys are liking and subscribing to the channel. Well done, Vel, you absolute fraud. But make sure you guys are liking and subscribing. I'll get this banner sorted out. Don't worry. Listen, I will not tax Vel for that, because he has given us elite content for the last 2 years working with the channel. So I'm gonna let it go because he's been loyal to This Is Football and Don Hussam. Anyway, make sure you guys are liking and subscribing, not subscribing. Keep getting involved in the chat. Keep letting me know your opinions. And today I'm going to be doing a stream just reviewing all the weekend's result with a panel of fans from all these different clubs. So like, share, comment, and subscribe. Let's get to 100 likes ASAP. And joining me first and foremost is everyone's favorite ginger fraud. My second favorite City ginger. And the only one on the panel with me who actually got 3 points this weekend. Man like Nobbins is in the building. Hello, Nobbins. You're on mute.
I'm muted. Sorry. Hello.
That's
how are you?
beautiful. I'm great. I'm great. How are you? Are you good? Are you good?
I'm doing wonderfully well. Thank you for having me on again. It's been a while. I'm a bit upset you didn't invite me on for a long time, but
Why do you lie to the people? Why do you lie to the people? Every time I invite you, you have an excuse. Be honest. Can you tell the people?
He's always abusing me in WhatsApp messages.
That's completely a lie. That's 100% a lie, guys. Every time I invite him, like, oh, I'm taking my imaginary girlfriend out. So I'm like, okay, you know what? Go ahead.
Oh, this guy.
Big up, man. Big up. We're going to introduce this guy next just by definition, because he has 7 points. You get me? So he has the most points. I hope his internet doesn't lag out. We have an Arsenal fan, here. We're not going to send him off like Declan Rice got sent off. Hopefully he doesn't bottle this opportunity like Bukayo Saka in front of goal. Man like Kunle is in the building. How you doing, Kunle? Very good. There you are. He's already bottled it. Oh my days.
Hello?
Kunle, get back to us when you fix your internet, brother. I'll introduce you next. But yes, Martin will be joining us as well in a second. So we have 2 Arsenal reps. So Kunle, just sort it out and we'll introduce you. Whenever you're ready, let me know. You good? Good?
You tell me. Oh, yeah,
yes.
Now, my people. You hear me?
Yes.
Please, can you hear
yes.
me? Oh, thank God,
yes.
Thank God. There is a God. Yes. I'm back in the motherland. Went from my other land back to the...
It's not looking good, bruv.
Here we go.
Good now? All you needed was a Saka limp, I think. I think all you needed was a Saka limp. If the Wi-Fi is bugging, try to use your hotspot from your phone. I think that one works a bit better if you have 4G on your phone. That's the only solution I can tell you anyway. He'll be back with us in a second. Joining us next is another guy who drew. So it might not be that bad. You get me to invite him next. Maresca's biggest fan, Poch's biggest hater. And he has posters of Joao Felix on his wall because he's absolutely in love with him. Man like Andrew is in the building. How are you doing, Andrew, man?
Sorry, I'm just creating a new burn account and subscribing to your channel. So I'm just going to do that right now. So just ignore that. Velv, you charlatan, you fraud, Velv. How can you not spell that right? You're all good at insults, aren't you, Velv, and putting videos of us together, but you couldn't spell subscribe. It's ridiculous. Unbelievable. Even that's ridiculous. He'd have to. That's a dispute. He should dock his
Like
pay.
and subscribe.
Dock his
There you
pay, man. Unbelievable. Yeah, I'm good, buddy. I'm good.
I'm
good.
glad you're good. Big up to you.
Your new
And
setup
finally,
is-
guys, last but not least, Don Hussam is the land of opportunities, ladies and gentlemen. In case you guys are unaware, there has been an email set up for the channel where many people have emailed me, many people have spoken to me about coming on the channel, about coming on the shows and expressing their opinions. I got an email about 2-3 weeks ago, you get me, from this guy who I'm about to introduce now. And he wanted to jump on the channel. He wanted to speak about football. He's a Manchester United fan. And what better time to bring on a Man United fan after we slapped them 3-0 at home than today? But joining us on the channel, making his YouTube debut, ladies and gentlemen. If any of you guys are interested in coming on the channel, I want to make appearances, please do email me. The email is in the description of the channel. Man like Clovis is in the building. Hi, Clovis. How are you doing, brother?
Hi, guys. Hi, Hussam. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for the debut. I'm looking forward to the show. Like, share, and subscribe. Shout out, guys. Let's keep it rocking.
Big up. Big up, big up. Would you like to tell the people about yourself, since this is your first time in here, just so people can recognize you, know who you support, stuff like this? Let the people know who Clovis is.
I'm Clovis. And I'm an Afrobeat artist, actually. But I've been supporting Manchester United for a long, long time. And I'm tired of commenting, writing long captions under the comments. I just wanted to come on and say my piece. Share my thoughts on what I see on the game. Speak tactically, speak, what I see basically. I'm not gonna I'm actually a balanced person. I'm not gonna look at things from one side. I'm gonna be looking things from all angles and actually saying what I see with my eyes and what I believe should be, because I'm looking around my other opponents, and I'm like, if they can do this, what's happening here? You understand? So we are definitely gonna get into it, and I'm just looking forward to the show, guys. Let's go.
Big up. Make sure you guys welcome him in the chat, man. Big up to the chat. Let me do a couple of these super chats before we get the party started. First of all, W's in the chat for Jenny for dropping in the 20-piece. Everyone get W's in the chat for Jenny. Big up to you, Jenny. Thank you so much for the super chat, just supporting the channel. No message there. You could have said Hussam has big biceps or something, but we still appreciate you regardless. Thank you for the super chat. W's in the chat for Jenny. Big up to you, Jenny. Let's get W's in the chat for her. Big up to Matthew, Galatasaray fan. Galatasaray fan. Who told me to speak about the Osimhen thing. So we will. Don't worry, Matthew. I got you. Don't worry, baby. Big up to my guy, Red Lion of Teranga. Big up, Us, who says, question, did Angel his face? This is like a Muslim joke. It's not, if you're completely get it. Because Angel been doing this, he been praying, he been doing this every time. He been praying every time, after Spurs concede a goal, he just been kneeling down on his knees and praying, it's insane. It's insanity. But we love it regardless. Big up to Chombe. He says, what's going on here? Did you change the name of the channel? By the way, big up to you, brah. I wish you more blessings and successful life. Like and subscribe. Yes, we have changed the name of the channel almost a month ago. Chombe, I realized the issue was people kept asking, where's Don Hussam? Where's Don Hussam? Where's Don Hussam? And I was like, bro, everyone knows I'm Don Hussam. No one knows this is football. So I'm like, why? What am I doing here? Let me just make the channel name my name. When the Zubimendi stuff happened, I went on my Twitter burner, the one that I checked news with. I went on it and I'm like, bro, everyone's just saying Hussam, and they're trying to ask for my channel. I'm like, okay, khalas, they know my name now. Let's just make it my channel name. So just made life easier for me. And finally, Ed, man like Ed in the building. Big up to you, Ed. 1610 super chat. Shall we play it, Andrew?
Yes.
Shall we play it?
Yes, please.
Do you think we should?
Yes.
Has he not been humiliated enough on this platform?
No, there's never enough. It doesn't run out. It's infinity humiliation. That's what it is. It just runs up forever. Sorry.
I wish sometimes I could just like go into his brain, but then I realize I actually have an IQ, so I can't.
Well,
So
if you
either
would go
way,
into his
can I
brain,
just say the two girls below us are looking 16 out of 10s today, both of them.
I'd say if you did
That's
go
the
into his
first time I've
brain,
ever seen that clip.
That is.
Yeah.
I wish I didn't.
don't worry.
There is
it's
no
a-
way that's the first time. You know, they played that clip around 500 different channels, like 5 million times. You know how many times this clip have been played? Ain't
I
no
don't-
way this is the first time.
I don't watch most football YouTube content.
just,
my
just,
days.
just what you're on, right, Nobbins? Just what you're on. You
Yeah.
just watch what you're on back.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just watch my own live streams on repeat.
Just
Flawless,
getting his watch
flawless
hours up
for
and
fit.
shit, you know, just getting his watch hours up. Like, yeah,
Flawless for
my
fit.
name is Nobbins. Make sure you guys are subscribing to my channel. I'm gonna grow it and all that shit. You fucking fraud. Anyway, and last but not least, guys, you know, he's gonna be who's ever been a super substitute for Arsenal? Because we have Origi,
Trossard.
Trossard. That's
He's
actually
Trossard. He's Trossard. That's what he is. Yeah.
I was gonna say Declan Rice, but then he got sent off and he's not a substitute.
Yeah.
Oh, we could go Trossard to be fair.
Yeah.
Anyway, joining us on the channel as well, alongside Kunle. So now we have Trossard, you get me, to join us. I like Martin. Look at him. Why are you so shameless? You
What up,
literally drew.
bitches?
Literally drew. You literally drew. But I'm gonna put him top row. By definition. By definition. He has to be top row. Has to be top row. You guys both suck respectfully. So yeah. How you doing, Martin? You good?
Yeah, good, mate. I just wanted to say the two guys below me are looking very good today, 16 out of 10. And thanks for having me on. The Kunle replacement. I won't be any Kunle, but
Hey,
oh
yo.
yeah, now my people. It's the real Kunle.
I'm here for now until
That was crazy.
Oh, you don't even need me anymore.
No, your Wi-Fi is better.
Alright.
Yeah.
It's Wi-Fi. That Wi-Fi is dealing
It
with
is
it.
what it is. It is what it is. Anyway, big up to all of you guys. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Big up to Zir as well. It says, big up everyone. Congrats on the win, Don Hussam. I appreciate you, Zir. Thank you, Habibi. Gracias, my brother. Thank you for the love you've always shown us. Listen, big up to Matthew, Jenny, Redline, Chombe, Ed, and Zir for the super chats. Big up to you guys. Make sure you guys are liking and subscribing. Let's just get this party started, Habibis. First and foremost, we have to start, of course, with the biggest game in English football. You know, Liverpool 3, Manchester United 0. You get me? And yeah, Man United were humiliated at home. So let's let Clovis talk before we get to the opinions of the panel. Tell me your thoughts, because funnily enough, Clovis actually, the video that he sent me was his thoughts on the Man United Liverpool game from pre-season where we won 3-0. And he's like, oh, Liverpool got lucky. So talk to me, Clovis. Talk to me. What do you think?
I mean, this was a total embarrassment. Like, I just cannot. Where do I pick from? You know, everybody is to be blamed, players and the managers. Like, literally, everybody is to be blamed. You know, look, watching the game. First of all, I have to comment. Liverpool. They played us to the T. They could not. I mean, they were not even on second gear. It was so easy for them to play us off the park and just get it. You know, I mean, how many shots on target did they have? Not so many, but they were clinical. They were clinical. First half, I mean, it was kind of 50-50 despite the goal. First half, you know, was kind of really, you know, the back line, our back line actually wasn't that bad as people make it out to be. It wasn't that bad, really. But then, for some reason, Casemiro can't even string a pass together. One bad fruit connects with the rest, and all of them gets bad. This is how the players, they cannot even pass the ball. You know, from Bruno to Xerxes to Casemiro, Onana just kicking it long. Where do I start? I'm gonna get to the manager, but I'm slowly cooking it. Like, this is an embarrassing, like, this is embarrassing. This is embarrassing. I can't even speak. Like, I'm sitting here with my weekend ruined. Now I have to face this gentleman with all of the shit that is about to happen, this week. Our next game is against, I think, 30, some middle game they're playing. But what are we gonna see? Same old shit. The way Liverpool kept on, playing at us in the midfield, kept passing in the midfield. I'm just like, what the hell is this? It's so many times the defenders can defend. You understand? They can defend, but then when the ball keeps coming, every single time they have to defend, eventually they're gonna score goals. That's how it is. I mean, we came back second half. I was thinking, okay, let me see what Ten Hag is gonna do. He himself bottled it, because when Maresca actually was I'm sorry, Maresca, Slot, when Anslot was we were playing the game, the way he was looking at it, every time we played, Anslot like shifted away from how he was playing and adjusted. Every single time he was adjusting the game as it was going. Eric Ten Hag did not even do that. His man management during games is very poor, very, very, very poor, and I believe he's not gonna leave for long. He's not gonna be here for a long. I mean, he's not gonna be here. His time is coming up, definitely. For now, I'm not saying he's out, but he is working himself out. I'm not even stressed about that. He is gonna push himself out. Keep talking about trophies. Right now is what have you done for me lately? It's not about how many trophies you have won. Yes, you have won trophies. I was behind. I can't believe I was behind this guy last season.
You were.
I was behind this guy last season because for all the shit things that was going on and the way we were playing and the injuries, the club getting sold, and all of the shit things happening, he still managed to win a cup. I was like, you know what? At least he tried. I was behind him. But this season, I just cannot keep on watching this. I cannot support this. You understand? I'm supporting the club, of course. But then if the manager keeps playing like this, by December, it's going to get sacked. And that is a fact. But first, I want to give Liverpool their flowers, because you as Eric Ten Hag, you saw how we played preseason, same exact goals. You should have taken something from the preseason, because at the end of the day, Slot knows how to. Since he has played 3 games now, and you can clearly see what he's doing. It's not the same as Klopp for sure, but you can clearly see what his style is, where he's going, and how the players are attaching to what he's trying to do, and it works to a T, which suggests if they are not even playing on first gear now, imagine when they actually are into it, game week 10. You understand? That means he is gonna adjust. We're gonna see. But for now, I have to give the praise to Liverpool. They actually cooked us. They cooked the shit out of us. And I'm looking at my team. I'm just like, who can I pick as the person to be like, you know what? In games like this, we come up on top. Ahmad is on the bench. People keep saying, why didn't he play Ahmad? Have you seen our bench? We had no one on the bench that he can even bring on. We had no one. So how can you sit there and be like, no, he should have started? You keep Rashford off on the bench and play Ahmad. Okay, what about the midfield? What about up front? It's the same style. It's the same shit. It's the same shit. It's easy that Man United fans keep making this thing, it's about players. No matter what player he plays, it's gonna be the same. The outcome was gonna be the same. Oh, maybe the scoreline should have been what 2-0 or 1-0. It's the same. What are you like, people? We have to realize our bench was shit. So he had to sacrifice one person, which was Ahmad, unfortunately. But that does not mean he's not going to play Ahmad anytime soon. He's going to play him, but it's rather unfortunate that we thought, and he himself thought, Rashford was going to do anything against Liverpool.
I'm going to read out a list of names: Guardiola, Slot, Villa, Arteta, Howe, Frank, Emery, Areola, Ange, Lopetegui, Glasner, O'Neill, Dyche, McKenna. All of those managers are superior to Ten Hag. And I'd even throw in Maresca as well. That would put him in the bottom 5 of managers in the Premier League. I don't think any of those are in dispute, to be honest. Maresca, jury's out. I've seen enough of Hazella and McKenna to know that, and Glasner, to know that they are better. He does not understand how to interpret stats. He doesn't understand how XG works or how game state works. He
knows how to count trophies. But what mistakes, What mistakes?
Exactly. He's so arrogant and conceited to not even acknowledge that maybe what he's doing isn't working. We are 3 games in, and I can already tell that Slot is an infinitely superior manager and tactician, and it's embarrassing how it's not even close, considering they came from the same league as well, and they're both bald, so they share that similarity as well. He is so, as I say, so conceited, so oblivious, so foolish. He hasn't imprinted any sort of competent style on his team. Again, we are 3 years in, and I thought he turned a corner in the Community Shield. I thought actually they played all right, but they've just gone back into their old ways. They press high, they defend low, they leave massive gaps in the midfield, where it's impossible to cover that amount of space. Even if you had like 3 Fernandinhos on the pitch and 3 Declan Rices, it would not be possible to do that.
It's not even possible.
His squad building is laughable. I really, he's so shit, isn't he? It's not just this game as well. This isn't just reaction to this game. He's just crap.
Yeah, he is really, really pushing it, and it boils my stomach to see him talk about trophies. Like, you are bringing up good points at the wrong time. That's his problem. He's saying actual facts, but at the wrong time. Now is not even the time for you to be bringing up trophies.
It's not just about the number of trophies, though. It's the level of trophies. And look, I don't even think Liverpool had to play that well to beat you guys 3-0 yesterday. Like in the first half, I said it was like a game of hot potato. Like everyone was just like transition. But you can see that Manchester United's midfield is probably the slowest midfield in all of the Premier League. Like Mainu's slow, Casemiro's slow. I don't know what Fernandes is doing half the time. I saw him do a 1-2. Ahmad wanted to do a 1-2, and Ahmad made a little run, and Fernandes is just like grenade launching it over the bar. Like
you can't do a 1-2. You can't do a 1-2, Fernandes.
No,
you can't do it.
I don't know what they're trying to do there, and he says stick to the plan.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's so shit that even the players, they could not even pass the basics of football. They could not even do that, which tells you everything. These players are not even good enough. They are not good enough to start in all of your teams. Chelsea right now is above Manchester United player for player, and it's a fact.
Damn.
I'm looking at our players. I cannot sit and be.
That's how you know you're in the gutter when you compare yourself to Chelsea. That's crazy.
No.
You literally drew at home to Palace. Don't even do this whole work.
I can't wait. When you drop points, I'll be all over you. Don't worry, man.
I think we're gonna drop points.
Yeah, don't worry, man. Don't worry. It will happen. Don't worry.
No,
but I just I wanted to go back to United. Well, let's obviously speak about Liverpool as well. It's unfair to just come all on United, but that's what made me laugh. And Sam will know this. That's what made me laugh in the summer when we heard like some Man United fans going, "Yeah, I think we can get third. I think we can score over 85 league goals when you've had 57 and 58 the year before." And Ineos everyone's praising Ineos, but they failed on their first big decision by keeping this guy. They failed. It's like you built a Formula One. It's like you built a Formula One car, the best car, and you put an unlicensed taxi cab driver in it. Do you know what I mean? It's just one of those. It's just one of those things. He's going to ruin Mino, by the way, if he stays anymore, because he doesn't coach him properly. Mino off the ball is terrible at the moment. He off the ball. He doesn't know what he's doing at all. He just looks lost, and you can understand that because. I don't know if Ten Hag's coaching or not. They brought in 2 new assistant coaches. Is he taking over the coaching? Are they coaching?
Rude.
What's going on here? It's just it was the perfect. You've got a new ownership coming in. It was set up was perfect. He wins the FA Cup. Let him ride out in the sunset. Let him go. Do you know what I mean? Hire and bring someone else in, new ideas, even if it was Ruud van Nistelrooy. And just, but your attack stinks. You've got like one of the worst attacks in the Premier League.
It's like they bottled it. They were doing a full reset, but they didn't reset the manager.
Yeah.
Your attack is bottom 6 standard of this league. Seriously, it stinks. Honestly, and Bruno Fernandes, Lord of mercy. I mean, again in a big game goes missing. Man United fans have the audacity to criticize De Bruyne sometimes, or even Odegaard sometimes for what they do in big games. But Bruno Fernandes is probably the worst big game captain in the Premier League for the last 10 years. He is trash. Absolutely. And you've given him 300k a week. You're giving him contract for 300k a week.
But he's also got a free role. He can do whatever he wants.
Yeah, exactly. He's got no responsibilities. He just wears the armband. That's all it is. He just wears the armband.
They track back like an under-7 football team. Like they all go to the ball. No one's watching the 3 guys at the back post. I looked at the reactions, and everyone in the reactions is like, the back post. And there's like just Liverpool just standing.
You know what's the best thing for me listening to all this is that Arne Slot planned out and mapped out everything that you guys just said. And the way that he broke it down,
he's a very good tactician, clearly.
He is. The way that he spoke when he broke down the way Man United played, their flaws, like exactly what happened in the game. That for me is like the level of an elite tactician, because he came out publicly and basically said, we targeted this, they pressed here, they done this, they done that, which I really enjoy. I love seeing that type of stuff. And it's clear that when we pressed, we just pressed smartly. We didn't do any crazy stuff, we just pressed smartly, kept the ball really well. And for me, that's why we got the 3 points. And at the end of the day with Manchester United, look, for me, the thing that pisses me off the most with Man United fans, and Clovis, but this applies to him too because he's Ten Hag. Thing is that pisses me off with Man United fans is the fact that it's always a change of energy. Like before seasons start, before things happen, it's always like, oh, I'm excited. It's a new era. We bought this, we bought that. We're going to do this, we're going to do that. And then as soon as the season starts, one bad result, like the one they had against Brighton, and it's like, oh my God, it's all because of the Glazers. Get the Glazers out my club and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, oh, Bruno is shit, Rashford is shit. But as soon as Bruno gets like 10 GA, oh, he's better than Odegaard, he's better than Kevin De Bruyne, he's cooking in this. Like, I've heard all these things. Like, at the end of the day, listen, you allowed Ten Hag to once again dictate transfer decisions at your football club, which I think is absolute mess. You can't be doing stuff like this whatsoever. And that for me is where the club just went south, because it's never good for a manager to dictate who you sign. And this is the thing that I've always used the 2 most successful managers in the last 8 years in the Premier League, which is Klopp and Pep. Pep, when he first walked into City, didn't sign a bunch of players from Bayern Munich. No. Or even a bunch of players from Barcelona. Klopp, when he first walked in, didn't sign a bunch of players from Borussia Dortmund. He's like, oh, go get me Blaszczykowski to play right back. Like, he didn't do that. He just completely changed everything. And the truth of the matter is, it's because it's a different league, it's a different all that. And if I'm being honest, listen, if I bring Ajax in the English Premier League, sometimes it's overdone for Man United, I get it, but I'm just saying hypothetically. If I bring Ajax in the English Premier League, where do they finish? Like what, 10th, 11th, 9th, 8th? Best case scenario, 7th. Like, I don't see Ajax competing for a league title. And yesterday, even the back 5 that Man United had, 4 of them are literally his Ajax players. Onana, Mazraoui, De Ligt, Lisandro Martinez, and the guy that played who played left back, Diego Dallo. Like it's like he's just
And the goalkeeper.
The goalkeeper, yeah, that's what I'm saying. 4 out of the 5 are all literally Ajax players. So you cannot allow a manager that hasn't been that guy at the top to try do that to you. And here's the thing: I feel like trophies sometimes mask actual objective conversations about football clubs. And Oli might not be the best manager out there, but I think he has a good eye for talent. I think he's a smart individual in turn. He's kind of like Lampard, because Lampard has an eye for talent, and he'd been a good sporting director, but not necessarily a manager.
Yeah,
exactly. He can't coach. The truth of the matter is, Oli came out and said, listen, just because you get a trophy does not mean that you're just better than everyone else.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think Liverpool are better than Arsenal because we won the Carabao Cup. Man United aren't better than, whoever just because they won the FA Cup. That's kind of not how life operates. It's about building momentum. It's about getting to the level where you have your own squad who wins stuff consistently, etc., etc., etc.
Yeah.
And for me, with Eric Ten Hag, I think the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup have just kind of clouded over what the truth of
stay of execution. That's what it is. The stay of execution.
But
it's irresponsible, right? Because just quickly, because all Man United fans said that they are resetting their expectations for Ten Hag because they changed the backroom staff. And I thought that was crazy. That was never a good idea, because it's his 3rd season and he's not going anywhere. Like, even if he's winning these trophies are kind of just like decorations on the same piece of crap that he's already had. So look, Terry said that, and I was like, I can't believe you're standing behind that's a complete reset. If you guys haven't got rid of him by Christmas, I think that you're doing yourself a mess.
Yeah, I completely understand, but you have to understand, we haven't. Before he came to this club, we were not winning trophies anywhere. So you grab what you can get. You understand? But now we are shifting from it. We are moving away from it. That's what I said. Like, we have passed that. Now it's a new season. What are you doing at this current moment? What are you doing? And like you rightly said, when you look at all these players, first and foremost, Ineos, they did what they could, to change things up. It's gonna take time. They are not supposed to do everything this one window. It's gonna take time, and the shit that we find ourselves in, these players are not really that bad as people make it to be, because if this manager goes and we get a new manager in, they might play something.
I'm sorry. This is Ineos's making when they decided to keep him. Okay, Ineos's first big decision, and they bottled it. They failed. Whatever you want to do about it. Okay.
There's two
they
sides.
They failed, and the thing is this. Why did you expect anything to change when he's the main guy in charge? Why did anyone expect anything to change?
Let me answer that.
Nobbins said it. He's arrogant. He's not going to change anything. Look at that video come out yesterday when he was like talking about 2 trophies, and he challenged a journalist or something to list everything wrong. And the journalist listed about 16 things he keeps doing wrong.
Yeah, this is it. About the press conference, I'm not even
rubbish. He's rubbish. Ineos bottled it. Bottled it.
Not really. No, they did not.
They bottled it.
That I would disagree. Here's the reason why. They are playing the long game. They are playing a long game because they actually went in the market and searched for managers. They went. You saw that. You saw that yourself. They went out, searched for managers, and then they were like, you know what? Let's keep the devil we know than the devil we don't know. So for now, they are keeping him, but that does not mean they will keep him for a long time if this keeps on happening, which I predict he's gonna get sacked this year. Like, that's a fact.
But does anyone have any faith in the signings being?
Let me just say something to this guy. Klopp wanted Branton Godza, but the club said no. Why isn't your club telling Ten Hag no? That's number one. Number two, we're talking about the volume. Number two, we're talking about the volume of players here. Onana, De Ligt, Mazraoui.
Yeah.
And if I mention Dutch players as well, Maresca. If I talk about players who played in the Eredivisie as well, the likes of Mazraoui was one of his players. He's been wanting Frankie Young, Anthony, Mason Mount. Like you know when you play football bingo, played in the Dutch league, it applies to all the Man United players. It's just like played it like all of them, like somehow at some point in time just played in the like Dutch league. Ericsson is another one, and this is the type of stuff that I say. We're not saying anything for agenda's sake. At the end of the day, 3 games in, you lost to Brighton, you lost to Liverpool, and to be honest with you, if Iwobi, Harry Wilson, and the Fulham players had any football IQ between all 3 of them, then you probably would have not even gotten a result against Fulham. So I was one of the people as well who said, listen, keep Ten Hag, because the managers out there are crap. Like, that's just the truth. The managers out there are crap.
That's what I just said.
And this is the thing people need to understand. Sometimes the market dictates what you do. Like, who are you going to go get if you're Man United? Like, McKenna and all this? Because these guys could shit
like,
the bed.
I was not feeling the pool of managers that were out there. I was not feeling it, you know. So it was better to keep him for now. But then the Ineos are playing the long game. They would definitely, people are naming Tuchel and Southgate. Come, get out of here. Like, literally, you know,
you're saying that, but Southgate is the favorite to replace Ten Hag.
Southgate is a better manager than Ten Hag, and I dislike Southgate as a manager.
Because I don't believe you would take him in your club. So what are you saying? He's not best anywhere.
But that's like saying, would I rather get shot or stabbed? Like these are the levels we're working with here. Would you rather, you know, be in a room with 1 shit or 2 shits? These are the levels we're working with.
I'd rather remember the devil I know and wait till, you know, I get a different pool of managers and get a different manager.
But not every manager out there's a devil. There must be some good managers out there.
I think
there was none. There was none.
Again, you tell me there's not one good manager out there.
The way that you play. Pochettino definitely.
That's what I'm trying to get at. Listen, the pool of managers that are out there, right? You are just looking at it objectively from, okay, if they come to the club, this is what they're gonna do. But you fail to understand Manchester United is a different breed of a club. You understand? It involves a lot. It's not only just the football. There's a lot around it that makes it even more bigger than what it is. You understand? Which means if they are looking for a certain type of manager, they should find somebody who is here to stay. Which means somebody who has the tactical knowledge, the charisma, the everything that embodies a certain manager. You understand? So getting rid of Erik ten Hag wouldn't have been good if we did that.
Maybe that's the problem. You guys think that it's this big thing. If you just got someone who came in and played good football, it would take care of all the other problems rather than like, trying to be charismatic.
You are looking at it objectively from the football side. But in Manchester United, it doesn't work like that. Otherwise, Oli would have stayed, Jose would have stayed.
But you tried big names. Like, I mean, I think Spurs tried the same thing, you know, bring in that charismatic win now manager who's going to get you trophies and get everyone behind it. But if you brought in, like, I don't know, Mo would go with the De Zerbi or something who just had you playing like beautiful football, I think people would be much happier in general. Trophies
here's the thing about De Zerbi. This another myth. De Zerbi was getting slapped as well. Don't forget that. People keep naming De Zerbi. No, but listen.
But you can get slapped in a beautiful way, you know. It's not ugly.
There you are. There you are. I said get slapped in a beautiful way. Wow.
But like when was the last time United had a good tactician as their manager? When was the last time?
That's what I want to say. That's what I want
who, let's be honest,
Van Haal's definitely a good tactician.
He's a good tactician, but he was terrible to watch. Like,
not necessarily in 2013, though, I think is the point. Like Mourinho was a good tactician, but also you haven't really had a good one since Fergie, arguably. So why not go out and get a good tactician at least?
Fergie is not a tactician either.
The crop of players we have
relative to all the other names following him, he is a tactical genius.
I genuinely think the only tactician they've signed after Ferguson is Van Gaal. That's the only tactician.
Van Gaal was actually a tactician.
Who I'm sorry, in like 2014 was not the Van Gaal he was when he was like managing Barcelona.
No, that is true, but he is considered a tactician by people who worked under him, by professionals.
But I'm talking about someone who's good at tactics now in 2024. Like, why don't you just go out and sign someone?
Yeah, name me one. You keep because De Zerbi is not it. De Zerbi
at this point, literally.
Yes, Amorim is one. That's what I would.
Why didn't you get him in the summer then?
Thiago Motta. I don't know.
Thiago Motta.
When you get
Yeah.
Amarin in the summer.
Inzaghi at Inter Milan.
Yeah, I mean, those are Amarin is somebody we should have got, but I mean, the club.
So it was
the
it was a mistake to keep him.
Yeah, it was a mistake. Looking back at it, it was a mistake, definitely. You know, but like I said, you know, that's one name. Hansi Flick, it's a give and take. You understand?
Inzaghi.
Inzaghi, he's all right. He's all right. But again, this is
Ten
what I'm
Hag.
saying. This is what I'm saying with the players. Like, they can't even pass the ball. So for the tactics, I get it. A manager comes in and say, "Oh, you can play like this, you know, this style of play." But if they can't even pass the ball, what's the point?
But they can.
Because
Like fundamentally, they're like elite footballers. They should be able to pass the ball. It's got to be something
I
to do with
thought so
instructions and training.
until they start playing every 20 minutes. They keep playing the style of
He's
plays,
asking-
everything that plays.
He's asking some of your players to do a job they can't do. Do you know what I mean?
Okay,
That's what he's asking to. That
we
comes
cannot
from
do
that.
it.
You are a run first pressing team. That's all you. Your passing comes secondary under Ten Hag. That's what it is. He wants you pressing. That's why Mason Mount started this season, because of the press. That's why he thinks. I can't believe I'm talking about a Dutch coach who thinks about passing secondary or third in his coaching manual. He thinks about. I don't know what we're talking about here.
No. Don't. I understand the tactics part, but if the players like Casemiro, for example, right? He threw the ball went out of play. He throws the ball to the opposition fan, to Liverpool fans. He throws the ball literally outside again. That is not on Ten Hag.
Yes, but Casemiro gets scapegoated when Mainu had just as bad as a game.
You know why he's asking that? Because your other midfielders are running away. Your other midfielders are running away from Casemiro. No one goes near him.
The best coaches are able to hide their players' weaknesses and frailties. Klopp did it brilliantly with Trent, for example. You know, you could even say Pep did with Sterling as another example. Ten Hag does the opposite. He enhances the deficiencies of his players by playing them in the wrong manner. Like he's Casemiro was not good in that first half, obviously, but he's giving, as I think as Martin said it, he's giving him a task and a role which he cannot do. Certainly not in 2024. The whole system was flawed fundamentally. And then in the second half, he brings him off. That's lovely. Well done. Brings on, was it a Collier, whoever came on?
Yes, Collier.
But the midfield structure didn't change. And all the holes in the midfield were still the same. Now, sure, Casemiro didn't have a good first half, but fundamentally, it's a systemic issue first and an individual issue second.
Yes.
Okay, let me just. I want to move on the conversation because we're 47 minutes into this.
Yep.
I have to ask you guys about a certain footballer. He wears the number 11. This is year 8 of him doing this, and it's always good to get a rival's perspective. What do you guys genuinely think your opinion of Mo is currently? The year 8 version of Mo, his current version of playing, you know, the way that he is right now. What do you think of Mo? Let me start with Nobbins, actually, because obviously you've seen him like a lot, let's say.
Yes, I was very annoyed that he stayed. I was really hopeful that he was going to go to Saudi. I couldn't believe like some Liverpool fans saying, "Oh yeah, like cash in on him." No, that's mental. When you got a player like in the same way that same way that I view De Bruyne for City, Salah for Liverpool. There are some players who transcend value, and Salah is one of those players who's literally irreplaceable. In respect of all-time Premier League conversations, he probably is. He probably is like the best winger in Premier League history or whatever. Like I still struggle with that at times because we have had a lot of good wingers, but I think there's a very valid argument there. He is, again, I'm sorry I keep comparing it to De Bruyne, but these are two players in that same tier of player. De Bruyne is now aging and is adapting his game. I think lots of people questioned, can Salah do a similar thing as he's obviously aging, physically slowing down, whatever, even though it doesn't look like he is. But again, he's almost adding more strings to his bow as time is going on in respect of like creativity as well. He just doesn't look like he's truly slowing down. And I've seen some people say that this is the most complete iteration of Salah. Maybe he is, to be honest. Maybe he is, and that's a scary thing, to be honest. And I hope he leaves next summer because he's very annoying.
So here's the thing. I don't believe in GOAT conversations because I just think everyone's going to have. There's going to be multiple people who think who's GOAT is.
You don't believe in goats?
Yeah,
He's more of a sheep kind of
guy. So I mean, but I believe no. But what I'm talking about is everyone, and this isn't a diss. Everyone always goes, "Well, Omi's the greatest player to ever play in the Premier League." I just don't think you can have the conversations like that. It's like who people say Messi's the greatest footballer of all time. I don't believe that. I think they're a different conversation. Mo Salah looks like he's having the most fun he's had since he's been at Liverpool. That's the thing. Even throughout what they've won, he just looks like, even with the contract issue, he just looks like he's playing free. Do you know what I mean? Like there's no issues at all he's had. Do you know what I mean? He's had there's nothing. There's nothing on his mind. Do you know what I mean? And that's weird because he's literally basically yesterday came out and said they haven't even offered me a contract, which is a scandal, by the way, that you don't offer your greatest ever player a contract. You don't even start. They've not even had any conversations. That's ridiculous. But on the pitch, I mean, like the rest of Liverpool, he didn't even look like he had to do much. Do you know what I mean? To actually do what he did. You know,
but he's turned the Premier League into easy mode. Like he can see a goal before it happens. He knows exactly where to run. Like if you see his goal, you can see him open up space for himself for the shot before the third. I think it was the third goal. But he knows that he's so much of a threat.
Onana positioning for that goal was just ridiculous.
Onana seems to stick on his line. I don't know why he does that. But just Salah knows that he's such a threat that he can draw three players, and he's at an extra level to that game now where he's like, I'll draw these three players and then I'll tap it over for Diaz to put it in or something. He knows that, you know, if you're a winger that's not really a threat, you'll just get one defender on you and that's it. And you won't be able to do the same kind of things as someone who's really like drawing other players in. So yeah, he's just too good right now.
I do think the slight modification into the Liverpool formation of instead of a 4-3-3 under Klopp, now it's a 4-2-3-1 essentially that they're going for is actually is helping him better. You know, in terms of that they have like two midfielders that will sit there. And big on to Gravenberch yesterday. I thought he dunked on the entire Man United midfield yesterday. It was ridiculous. I just think even that's helping him out. You know, a fit Jota will also help him out as well. More, do you know what I mean? Actually being available all the time. And Diaz is literally is having redemption at the moment. You know what I mean? So he's just a brilliant player. I will not engage in any conversation about doubting Mo Salah. I just think it's a waste of oxygen. Do you know what I mean? Of how good he is. He's a sensational player, and he will go down as, for me, he'll go down as one of many players, but he'll definitely go down as one of the greatest ever players in Premier League history. There's just no doubt about that. His numbers are insane. His numbers are like LeBron James, you know, when he just keeps breaking records in NBA. He just doesn't stop. And he's 32. Do you know what I mean? He's 32. He can literally go.
The Premier League would be worse without him.
Chill. Let him go retire.
I think it'd be criminal if I just think it's criminal if Liverpool just don't drop the bag for him. Do you know what I mean? I just think it's insane. Do you know what I mean? It's like I will go back. It's like if Henry was in his final year and, you know, when he was in the pub at Arsenal and Arsenal didn't offer him a contract. Do you know what I mean? It's just insane. You know, or Man City weren't offering like Haaland deals or something like that. He's going into his last year. It's just not right. Do you know what I mean? It'll be. I think if Liverpool don't do it, that will just. I think the Sam's fears will come true. Like Liverpool will just drop back.
Yeah, we need to give him the contract.
You can't. The thing is, people go. You would need to buy at least 3 or 4 players to do the numbers that he does for Liverpool to replace him at the moment out there, and I don't think the market has that out there. There's no player. There's no set of players that can replace Mo Salah's numbers for Liverpool. They're just not. They're insane. He was brilliant again.
Okay, lovely hearing people.
Hey, can you say some nice words for Diaz, Hassan, before you move on?
Yeah, Sam.
There you are.
Come on, Sam.
There you are.
Come on, Sam.
Listen, I'll be honest with you, I'm waiting to finish the stream because I got clipped up in Colombia again, so I want to go watch that video. And I mentioned the bald guy as well in my celebration, so he's like, "Este señor, mention para mí." I'm like, "Yes, I mentioned you bald fraud." But I listen. It's it's all about consistency. The reason why you guys are talking about Mo, the reason why you're doing it is because it's been 8 years of him delivering. The reason why everyone respects Kevin De Bruyne is because of consistency and delivery. The truth of the matter is there will be no apologies to any player, regardless who you support after 2 games. Apologies come after a consistent run in which you deliver for 10, 15, 20 games, etc. That's how apologies come. And if Diaz gives me 15 and 10 this season and delivers across the season consistently, I'll be the first one to apologize. 100%.
I'll be there.
They're United, biggest club in the world. They should be able to pull the best manager in the world, no question. Should be on the phone with Ancelotti. Of course, James is just mocking them. And rightfully so, because listen, I don't think United have the pull that they once had, to be fair. So like it's not like this is the United of old. They can still attract people. For me, listen, Poch would have been perfect for Man United. Poch would have been perfect for Man United. So that's what I'll say. So
I don't think so.
Yeah. But here's the thing: you think about it. You have a lot of runners. You have a lot of people who can run around, and Poch always gets like one player that he brings the best out of, like from the front line. Mbappe's best numbers was with Poch at PSG. Son's best numbers was with Poch. Kane's best numbers was with Poch. And what's his name as well? Palmer last season gave him the keys with Poch right there. So even Andrew doesn't like Poch, by the way. Even he'll tell you going forward, he's not that bad of a manager. Like as a forward,
oh yeah, he will let your forward. If you find your forward player, he'll just let them do their thing. Which is
I don't know what United do with
great.
Rashford because that relationship between the fans and Rashford is broken.
Did you see them boo when Garnacho came off?
Yeah, that was damning. That was damning. That I mean, that's probably the loudest I've heard Old Trafford in ages. Do you know what I mean?
Rashford he needs to be sold. He needs to be sold.
That's another thing as well. That's another thing.
I remember when I talked about the energy earlier on. You see, after Rashford had a good season, none of you will say sell Rashford. You see,
no,
this is
the thing. Here is the thing with him. No, it's not even about one season. He does this. You understand? We know when he gets a good season, he's gonna have a bad season. And we were expecting this season to start with him, at least show me some performance. At least show me something. I don't want to hear this preseason thing. Yeah. Show me something. But I agree. Even do that against Liverpool, the Liverpool against Liverpool,
or at least spark the bus and hit on the counter. Do something, to be fair.
Do something. Yeah. At least these are your rivals that we knew Rashford would turn up for this game.
I'm with you. I am with you there.
But
and by the way, I agree completely with what Oli said in his clip. The clip that's been going around, go watch it. Football has evolved. You need innovative managers, what JJ says. To be honest with you, that's why I was so stuck on the Xabi Alonso thing. It has nothing to do with the fact he's a former Liverpool manager. I know Nobbins knows this because he's like big on tactics and shit. Xabi Alonso is literally fucking inventing tactics. Like, are you guys like he's making tactics as we speak? So he's I would happily take him at Liverpool. Salah, top 3 players in Premier League history. Him not having to play AFCON this year, huge for LFC. Alhamdulillah. Thank you, Allah. Thank you. There is no AFCON this year. Alhamdulillah. Never want to see him 1v1 versus Zinchenko ever again in my life. Listen, to be fair, Zinchenko did say in the interview, if Salah's running at me, I'm finished. You heard him say it, so yeah.
But if Salah's running at anyone, they're finished pretty much. So I don't know why Zinchenko gets targeted.
Yeah, gotta love it. But one thing also, each team has that one player. When he's on the pitch, the defenders get scared. We don't have that. We used to have that in Rashford. We used to. We don't have that.
Yeah, I'm with you. Big up to 20, who says Osimhen rejected Chelsea for Galatasaray. Tiny club. Yep. Oh, we're gonna talk about that. You best believe. Yep. I'll be honest with you. I should have put Osimhen in the thumbnail, but then I just put Maresca because of my agenda personally. So yeah. Big up to you, 20. Big up to Jack, who says I think Xabi might get found out. He hasn't evolved. I disagree with you completely, but you might be wrong and I might be completely right, but only this season we will find out. Don't go anywhere. This season we will find out 100%. Anyway, big up on season, right? Chatter. I'm gonna give you guys a massive shout out at the end. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Let's get 300 likes ASAP. I see all the mods pushing as well, specifically Vin, big up Vin, pushing for the people to like and subscribe. So please hit the like button, subscribe. And speaking of Galatasaray, you get me? If Hamza was here, he would have told you about the final, like from like 20 years ago.
2000, against
when they lost to Galatasaray. So Arsenal won, Brighton won. Talk to the people. Martin, what do you think?
I watched a compilation of all the decisions the ref made in that game, and it just made me more angry. People talk about rules are rules, but when Saka gets elbowed in the head or gets pulled off the ball, like by his shirt or whatever, like it's not called, it's not even given a card as a foul. And then when you come to the decision that they made with Rice, you could just tell the referee really wanted to be the man of the moment in that thing, and he made it all about himself. So yeah, he ruined that game, and we got out of there with a draw. I think you could make the case that we should have done better and tried to win that game a bit more against Brighton with 10 men. But fair play to Brighton. I think they've got a very good team. They've bought a lot of very good players, and the new manager seems to know at least how to get out of his own way and play what the football they're all used to. But yeah, I thought it was a disgrace, absolute disgrace. I don't want to see Kavanagh referee one of my games ever again. That's my short summary.
So with the Declan Rice decision, what's your genuine thoughts on the Declan Rice decision?
Well, Veltman, he's down in his own corner, right? And there's a foul called on Rice. Arguable call, but whatever. So he starts to stand up. Rice is walking away. Veltman then pushes the ball into Rice as he's walking away. It hits his heel. Rice noticed the ball and then flicks it, maybe like 2 yards, maximum 1 yard. And then the ref, who's apparently unsighted, comes running over, and there's Welbeck asking for a second yellow card. The goalkeeper's saying that should be a yellow. Meanwhile, he just like rocks up there and goes, "Yep, suck that. Here, have your first red card, Rice, and your senior."
But can I tell you my genuine theory? I don't know if you've heard my thoughts on it, but my thoughts are like, why did Declan Rice even do that? Like, there is nothing to gain in that moment from kicking the ball away. My thing is, I'm being logical. Being logical, you know, I genuinely never hate on Arsenal. That's not the club I hate on. I hate on his club. I hate on his club, and I hate on Andrew's club. That's the clubs I hate on.
In your head.
But I do not hate on Arsenal because I don't have a rivalry with them. There's nothing to force here. But the truth of the matter is, he got a yellow for that first tackle. Was a strong tackle. He then, I think, in that before he kicked the ball out, I think he fouled Veltman. And the ref let it go. He didn't give you a yellow card, nothing. You're like, okay, match progressed. And Arsenal were dominating Brighton. And then he gets the ball and he just rolls it away for no reason whatsoever. Therefore, giving the referee a chance to make a decision. You get me? Like, that for me is where Rice should be disappointed, because you're on a yellow.
Rice said in his interview,
you're on a yellow. Why? Why do that? Why? There is no need. There is no need.
I just don't think that a game should ever be ruined like that over such a simple and innocuous thing, especially when he's not being completely consistent with these like time-wasting calls. There was another situation where they had the ball and they threw it back to us. I mean, Saka threw it up in the air. Pedro like hoofed it 50 yards. Like, there's no consistency here. So to pull that as a red card offense and have him banned for the next game against Tottenham away, it's like
referees are never going to have consistency.
That's the most consistent thing about it.
Don't make this into, just have a chat to them, because Veltman kicks Rice in the leg. You can tell he's trying to do that intentionally. That should be like at least a yellow card. You know, we've had Havertz getting choke slammed and Jesus getting a yellow card for having his ass groped by that Mosquera guy the other week. There's just no point, right?
That game, that was crazy. That was crazy. About the refereeing, like, we all know it's inconsistent. We all know. But here is the thing, you know, what I don't understand with some Arsenal fans. They say that was not a red card, but you have to look at it from this standpoint. When you start playing the Champions League, it's going to be hostile. Can you deal with that pressure? Because if you want to win the Premier League, you have to be near perfect to beat City, which means every point counts. You, Declan Rice, you already saw that you have a yellow already, and the player himself knew Declan Rice had a yellow already. He played into that, and the referee fell for it, and that's why he got sent off. You know, so if players like that getting rattled every single time, they will not be able to handle the Champions League.
But he wasn't rattled. Like, the ball just rolled into his foot and he just nudged it away. It's not like he's lashing out in any kind of anger. And I think if this happened to any of your clubs, you'd feel very differently about this.
No, definitely. I agree.
It ruined the game for us, basically.
I'll be fuming.
Okay, you are correct, Martin. I will say, if it happened to my club, I will be angry. But a day later, I will also say, why the fuck
at the time you'd be angry.
Yes.
No, but the reason why I'm more angry is because I went back and looked at all of the fouls.
I get you being angry, but at the same time, go like, why?
Yeah,
why?
Declan Rice.
That's the only thing. Like, why are you doing this?
Yeah.
But like, I can be angry at Rice. I can say, look, what are you doing? You're normally like a very cool customer, but like at the end of the day, I don't think that there's good refereeing in the Premier League, and we all just like go back to this rules as rules and sit on our side when something really ridiculous happens. And it's not many people that cross that line, that tribal line, and say what they really think about the decision, because we shouldn't be having games decided by these kind of minuscule, non-send-offable offences.
That's all.
There's two things about this. It depends on the referee you've got. It's their interpretation of the letter of the law as well. You've got to factor that in as well. But I still think Arsenal. Ironically, I still think Arsenal had the better chances even when you went down to 10 men. Brighton. I know they scored Brighton, but I don't think they. I was looking at their chances. It was like half chances. I mean, there's a guy who missed like basically an open goal, decided to shoot the way of Raya did. But Kai Havertz, I wouldn't really say. I think Saka's chance was a bit harsh because he was stretching for it, so I'll let him off a bit. But Kai Havertz had the chance to win the game. Essentially, he'd done brilliantly to get the ball past the defender. That was a brilliant turn. But again, it's one of these things when you're not like a clinical 9 or something. He's always going to finish like that. Do you know what I mean? He's always going to try and pace it like that.
I think people aren't going to give him credit for the goal he did score, because that was a very nice.
That's understandable, but the problem is
people say he only scores the hard goals.
But the issue is, Martin, the problem is that it ended in a draw. So anyone's always going to focus. No one's going to focus on his goal. They're going to focus on what happened to Rice and focus on his miss. That's just what happens when it happens in a draw.
I'll tell you why that's
I think there's a bigger problem.
This is something that I hate about football fans in general. Nobbins next game, Man City play someone. I don't know who. If Erling Haaland misses 3 sitters and the game ends 0-0, respectfully, I'll call out Nobbins if he says this is all Kovacic's fault. Everyone stopped scapegoating Kai Havertz. He scored the goal. And no, 1 second. He scored the goal and created the most dangerous chance of the game too, to Bukayo Saka. So let's analyze. He had 3 moments. 1 miss, 1 goal, and 1 where, to be honest with you, if Saka finished it, it's an assist. So for me, Havertz did his job. The ones that didn't do their job is Odegaard. Saka didn't do his job in front of goal. And for me, Rice let Arsenal down. And you could even argue for the goal, Saliba and Gabriel defending should be better. Those are the ones we have to have a conversation about. Let's not scapegoat Kai Havertz, because that would be easy. That would be very easy. Like it's like me yesterday. Sorry, I have to say this. It's like me yesterday. Diaz scored 2 goals, right? Imagine Man United come back, it's 2-2, and I go like, Diaz didn't score the 3rd, man. Like, I'm not going to do that, because Havertz, for me, did this job. 50% for a striker is considered good. I mean, Erling Haaland is extremely clinical. Forget the start to the season. We're talking about over a long stretch of the season. 50% is usually what you get, even with a top striker, never mind Kai Havertz, with a top striker in terms of chances in front of goals. The reason why I'm defending him is I feel like if we want to criticize Arsenal players, it is correct. You have the right to criticize Arsenal players. But criticize Odegaard, because that was a stinker. Criticize Saka, because he was crap. Partey was shit. Gabriel and Saliba for that goal as well. They should be doing better. So I don't even want to waste time talking about Havertz, because for me, he did what he had to do.
Terrible as well.
Fundamentally, there's a bigger issue in that teams have worked out how to stop us a little bit by creating like a mid-block scenario, right? Brighton compressed the entire field into about 20 meters from defense to attack. And there's no way for any of our attackers to connect. And it's very hard for Odegaard to play in those spaces unless someone's going over the top, which is what Kai had some success with. But I think Arteta needs to figure out a way around that problem before it becomes an issue, because everyone just knows how to. Because Brighton would just keep the ball, and Villa did it to us last year. We'll try and press them. We'll get ourselves in a dangerous situation, and then they'll score. And they took advantage of their chance.
Martin, you're also worried about your squad, because your bench on Saturday had 4 youth team products, right, on the bench.
I didn't look at the bench, but I think that's because I didn't want to see it. I knew that we were out without Moreno, Jesus, And
There's no one to replace Odegaard, right? If
Do
Odegaard's
you see
injured,
the
or...
Moreno news as well? He's out for 2 months, unfortunately.
yeah, I think it heard
He got
6 to 8
taken
weeks
training.
for a fractured shoulder. But now when you say 2 months, people are like, "Oh my god, 2 months? That's way
First
different
training
than 6 to 8
session, he
weeks."
got buck up. He got dumped on his first training session.
If I
Yeah,
was
apparently, like he didn't even stop training. He just went through the whole session, and they found out later that it was a fracture. So
That's
I don't know.
mad.
Gabriel
That
bodied
shows me that he's an animal. My man tried with a broken arm for like 2 hours.
Joey's trying to do is, you know, when someone dislocates their shoulder, he's probably like that on a door, like that.
It's all right. It'll be fine.
if
But
I
yeah,
was
look, we haven't got the strongest bench. But the problem was before we had options on the bench, but we didn't trust them. So with Sterling coming in, if we can get Jesus back, then we've got a few more attacking options. I didn't like starting Trossard. I felt like everyone was just jumping on that, saying he has to start, but he's really an impact player for me.
Agreed.
And Martinelli needs to do the running and the hard work early on, even if he doesn't get goals and assists for it. So yeah, there's a few issues that we need to sort out, and I think Tottenham is going
Can
to
I
be
tell
a
you the
very
biggest
big
issue
test.
now? You just indirectly spoke about it. Let me just bring this up because it's relevant to the topic. Big up to 20 who says Rice has been emotional since game week 1. I don't know if last season and the Euros are weighing on him or it's playing with a finished party, but he's got to fix up. Spurs is next, Martin.
Yeah.
There is no Rice. So now this puts you in a shit situation because who the hell is going to be the midfield? Is it going to be Jorginho again? Is it going to be Timber in the DM? What do you expect? What do you think? And what's your response to 20 as well?
To 20, look, I don't know if Rice has been emotional. I know he's tired. The guy really has like had 2 weeks break over the whole thing because of the Euros. So I don't know. I think he's just getting refereed differently now that he plays for Arsenal. That's my feeling because he's done a lot of stupid shit for West Ham. I never saw him get sent off for it. But back to our midfield. Look, I don't know if Odegaard's injured because he copped one in the knee in the middle of that game, and it seemed he had to take painkillers and stuff. So maybe we're dealing with a bigger issue than I think. But Jorginho, Partey, Odegaard might be the fullback. I'd like to see Nwaneri be trusted to run something on the left 8 side in midfield, but I think it's maybe not the game for that. But I'm a bit heartened by Tottenham because I watch them. They play good football and they just throw all their chances away for fun. So I'm hoping that they continue to do that.
Suddenly they'll turn clinical against you. You know this.
Maybe, yeah.
Suddenly Tottenham will turn. That's the most Tottenham thing ever. Like absolutely suck for 3 games and then just play Arsenal and suddenly turn up because this is their cup final, to be fair. So
it is their cup final, and they've got some issues after what happened last season. You know, they want to put the ghosts of whatever the hell that game was behind them. So yeah, they'll be desperate to win and ruin our chances. But I'm still pretty confident that we've got a very good defense. And if we fix up that little ball through the middle issue that we had there, I felt like we dealt with everything Brighton and Villa and Wolves kind of threw at us. So I'm still feeling good about the defense. I think Raya's playing out of his skin right now, and hopefully we can at least get a 0-0, 1-1, horrible
I told
away
people
result.
Ederson has to be worried now for the second best goalkeeper in the league spot because Raya is coming this season. He has performed really well. He's performed really well in the first 3 games. But yeah, listen, that top spot, it belongs to me. Respectfully to all of you guys. Just saying, Alisson, no one like him in the Premier League. But yeah. Anyway, big up to you, 20. Big up to all the super chatters as well. But listen, Arsenal drew 1-1 at home to Brighton and stuff with 10 men. It's not that deep. There's a shitter club in London to talk about. We cannot sit up here and waste all this energy on Arsenal. There is a club, believe it or not, Martin, even shitter than Spurs. You get me? Even shitter than Tottenham Hotspur.
Touch and go.
You got rejected for a Turkish club. Hold that.
You want to talk about transfer rejections? You want to go there with transfer rejections, do you? Yeah. I wouldn't go there.
How did you guys miss out?
I wouldn't go there.
I'm a guy. I like to live the moment. Last year I was streaming from a prison cell. Now I have a setup. We talk about the right here and now. There's no need for us to talk about.
Okay.
Let's talk about Chelsea Football Club, Habibi. 1-1 draw at home to the Palace. You get to be mighty Crystal Palace. And Osimhen saying no, and you losing to Servette. It's been a shit 3 days, Andrew. So talk to me, brother. How do you feel about your club right now?
Well, I'm fine. Got through the European qualifier, so that's through. So that's fine.
Label that as a European qualifier. Seek some shame
Guys,
immediately.
Liar,
Seek some shame.
Such a liar. Don't be a liar.
Listen. With the company I'm in right now, and you want me to seek shame? Yeah, I don't think so. Okay, guys, you know what I mean? I really, you know what I mean? Yeah. Take a look in the mirror. Do you know what I mean? It's all good. But you know, the Osimhen thing happened. We tried to. It was a financial chicken situation, and both sides didn't blink. Happens, it happens. You know what I mean? It's all good. He can go play in Galatasaray or for is it 4 months? Did I read 4 months or is it a season? I can't remember what it is. It's something like that. It's 4 months. And Sunday, yesterday, it's just for me. It was just a literal case of not taking our chances. We created enough chances to win that game. Everyone's focusing on Jackson's chance in the second half, but for me, that Maresca first chance when he's on his left foot and he's got basically the other half of the goal to hit is. We praised him last week when he got a hat trick. I've got to condemn him this week. That chance is just criminal. I don't even want. I'm not even going to mention the. I am going to mention it, but I'm not going to mention the possible second yellow card because that had no effective outcome on the game whatsoever. We should have taken our chances, and we didn't. And then they scored a brilliant goal. And then for like 30 minutes, it was literally transition ball from both sides. They both just gave away the ball. Bad passing, about 35 minutes up and down. It was like a really bad basketball game when just no one wanted to hit any points or whatever. Just like that forward. And then we tried to do something the last 5 to 10 minutes. What I will say is I thought he should have brought in Cuckoo on a bit earlier. Instead of giving him like 5 to 10 minutes to try and do something, and he put him on the right wing. But yeah, it's just literally a case. People are going to overanalyze it, but for me, it's just a case we didn't take our chances.
I have a question. Why did Nkunku not start?
He played the full 90 the previous game. I mean, of course, he's coming off like an injury hit season. So it's the same with Neto. So that just at the moment, it's just managing the minutes.
It's also not really like a specific. Sorry to cut you off. There's not really a specific positional role for him in this current Chelsea setup. To be honest,
not when he's playing Palmer in this. Yeah, not when he's playing Palmer.
Yeah, because he's not better at Jackson as a 9. He's not better as Palmer as a 10. He's not better as Neto as a left-sided player. He's not a right-sided player. So. I think he's a second striker. To be honest, the closest you could do that is by dropping Palmer, which isn't going to happen, or you play Palmer out on the right, and in Maresca's setup, I don't think that's a good utilization of him. So
that's true.
I don't really get it.
You know, Palmer got assists, but he had a pretty quiet game overall, especially second half, and that's just the thing that happens. Neto didn't really do much. Huffed and puffed, but like I said, people too much focusing on. Yeah, it was a chance at the end for Jackson. He should have taken it probably better, but that's what I keep saying. It's like Jackson is going to do that. He's not an out and out number 9. Do you know what I mean? He's gonna miss more than he scores this season, and that's just going to cost us. And I think we're going to see more games like this where we have a bunch of. The previous week we hit all our chances. All my chances, they went in.
And Jose this week, with a hologram, but yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, but this week we created like yesterday we created multiple chances, and it just didn't happen. And my theory is that I'm going to see more games like that because we didn't purchase a Tony or an Osimhen. Do you know what I mean? Who could just like take that chance? Now, of course, they wouldn't have mattered yesterday because they wouldn't have been registered to play, but. Just going forward, I'm just going to see more than that. I will say, if anyone's like heard the game yesterday, the atmosphere at Stamford Bridge, a chunk of those home fans stink. Honestly, they're terrible. Honestly, the away fans. Yeah, exactly. That's the 3rd game in a row. Just because he had like, honestly, it's just mental. But yeah, it's just
I heard
one of
rumors
those.
that Mudryk had a good game. I didn't actually watch it because it was like.
No, he was a. I think he came on for 20 minutes, and he's the guy who set up Jackson for that chance at the end.
Okay.
So he set him up for that. That's why people saying he's having a good game because he set him up for that. That was all it was.
He's on Instagram.
Forget the fact that Jackson missed chances and shit like this. There's 2 questions for me. First of all, have the bridge already turned on Enzo Maresca?
I don't know why though. There's no reason to. Honestly, Sam, I think most of the fans that go there, a big chunk of them have got single-digit IQ. I really do. When it comes to anything, they're just too emotional. I hated this. They got so wrapped up in, whatever is at Cobham and stuff like this, and if we sell Gallagher, remember if we sell Gallagher, we riot. That's not happened. So you haven't followed through with your promise on that one, and all that. It's just. I don't know what it is. You can be. I understand you can be mad at the. Yeah, exactly. Thank you very much. That's not happened. I know. So that's false advertising to begin with. So you know what I mean. Can't keep your promises. I can understand. Coming. I totally understand you being mad at the board, mad at the sporting directors. I'm not against that. You want to be mad at them, no problem. But make a better atmosphere at the game. Do you know what I mean? I mean, the atmosphere obviously didn't matter much to the players because they still created all those chances. Do you know what I mean?
And the second thing I wanna ask you about, Andrew, because this here what it comes down to.
Yeah.
For me, I keep my energy consistent. Just like I didn't think Poch was at fault, I don't think Maresca's at fault.
No.
My honest opinion is I just don't think the Chelsea players are that good. And I think there's a section of your fan base that overhype the fuck out of the players. I've said it before, I'll say it again. For me, the Chelsea players that are very good, like top class, entering world class levels, like very, very good start for a whole lot of teams in world football is Caicedo, Palmer, and Gusto. Those are the three for me, who I say are fantastic players. And you know what it is? It's like there's no question mark at the end of it. Like, khalas, everyone knows Caicedo is good. Everyone knows Palmer is good. Everyone knows Gusto is good. Like, no one's going to sit up here and run a Gusto agenda or a Palmer agenda or anything.
Yeah.
The others, there's question marks above them, whether it be fitness, whether it be actual delivery and stuff like this. And for me, this is why I defended Poch last season. Me and you had 100 debates. The truth of the matter is, it was never a thing against, like, Hussam just defends Poch or whatever it is. It's a thing of, like, I genuinely don't think the Chelsea team is that good for Chelsea fans to be making such wild demands. Like, even you demanding top four, like, it's a must because we have all these good players. I don't think this is a realistic world. There are certain things that I completely agree with. Like, if a Chelsea fan says, I want to win the Conference League, of course that's normal because they're by definition better than all the teams in that competition. 100%.
That's mad. Yeah.
So they should win it. 1,000,000%. I'm with you. But when like, oh, he must make top four or we have failed this season and blah, blah, all this type of stuff. That's the thing for me that I just don't get because I just look at this Chelsea team and I think there's a lot of players that are so many question marks and it's confirmed by transfers too. When you sign someone like Sancho, Mahabibi Sancho is just like Felix, is just like Nkunku. They're the same type of player. There is not really much difference there. That hybrid, not really a midfielder, not really a 10, not really a winger. Good for, aesthetics merchants will have an erection watching them type shit. Like,
the compilations. I mean, the compilations have been top class, weren't they? But
Felix dribbled past 3 players and then shot it to a different stadium. What's the point?
Listen.
Chelsea made these expectations for themselves.
But Sam, my feelings on João Felix. I'm not going to get into it because I'll be here for another 4 hours. I don't want to talk about it. I wasn't in favour. Even the Sancho one, to me, doesn't still make 100% sense because I was thinking it only makes sense if you're getting rid of all 3 of those wingers, like your Sterling, your Mudryk, and your Madueke. Yeah, it only made sense because of them. But he likes Madueke, he's going to keep him. Bought Mudryk on yesterday. Mudryk is just. I mean, you might. I just put him out to pasture. Just leave him in a field somewhere. Mudryk, you know what I mean. But Sterling's gone. But it's just. Well, my thing about top 4 was that if we got a striker, it's a better chance for us to get in top 4 because I think after the top 3, I think everyone's defense is more or less the same. We saw it even last season. The teams that finished 4th, 5th, and 6th all conceded near enough 60-odd goals last season in the league. So they're not top defenses. Do you know what I mean? So, but I thought we had a better chance. Whereas now, I think we're going to be in and amongst it. I don't think we're favourites for it at all because of the situation that we have. But if we got one of those 2 strikers, it would have made me more confident to get top 4.
If you got Osimhen, I think you get top 4 with these.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But now we're just in amongst it. We're just in amongst it now. It could be. It's a lot.
Andrew, I'm with you. Because here's the thing, no one will sit here and do Man United praise or Spurs praise or even your club praise or Newcastle praise or Aston Villa praise or whatever because there's question marks over all their clubs. So you are right, you could get top 4. I'm with you. I'm simply questioning making it a demand.
Oh, that's meant. No, I don't. And I said it before and I say it again. This one of the failings of this board is the mixed messaging. You can't come out after you sack Poch, demand top 4 in a trophy, and then start off with your manager list, 2 of them being McKenna and Maresca on your manager list, and then signing Maresca. It doesn't make sense. Why would you demand that? And then you bring in a guy. I don't care if he, like, high five Pep 500 times on the training field. I don't care. I don't care what he did at Leicester, because it doesn't quantify what he needs to do at Chelsea. It's a far bigger job. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But for me, I think it's insane.
Want to just make a point. Like they're playing with fire. They've over leveraged Chelsea to the point where every player is on massive. I think you've just renewed Jackson for 9 years, right? Till he's 32 years old.
Yeah, he's not on
2033, right?
Yeah, he's not. Yeah,
what if he has a career-ending injury?
That's true.
That's on the books for 8 years.
But we could say that for anyone who signs a contract. Do you know what I mean? Look at
Moreno.
Do it
for that long.
Look at Moreno. He just got injured on his first training session. But look at Moreno. He just got injured on his first training session. Do you know what I mean? He's just signed a 4 or 5 year contract at Arsenal. So it's like, what I'm saying.
But to renew Jackson now, I don't understand where their priorities lie. And if these, I feel like your foundations are on sand. Like if these wishy-washy semi-attacker winger second strikers don't work out, you're left with a whole bunch of crap that no one wants to buy.
You can't tell me Sancho and Felix is a plan. If you tell me Estevao is a plan, I'll be like, okay.
That's not a plan.
We've proven it. Don't say Chelsea can't get rid of players, because they can get rid of players. We've proven to it. So that's just not. We just sold that Angelo kid. We just sold that Angelo kid for 23 million. He's not even played for us. Do you know what I mean? It's just Saudi. It's one of those things. I think the contracts are obviously more. We've seen it it's more of an Americanized sporting thing, isn't it? When they just dish out long-term contracts. Now, I don't know why. Listen, they want to try and do it. They want to try and flip them. Some of these players, they don't like, with someone like Cole Palmer, they don't want to flip. Do you know what I mean? They just want to tie them down. I think it's too long. I think it's mad. But we're talking about players though. We're talking about players though who are going to sign those contracts because it gives them security for basically the rest of their career. Do you know what I mean? So it's
but they're going to want a pay rise. Like if Palmer has another good season,
the thing is though, our contracts are incentivized. Okay, they're incentivized. The reason the reason they should want to get more money, the reason they'll get more money is that where they finish and what they win. So that should be incentivized. The contracts we have is what all football fans want for their clubs. They want. How many times have you heard even at O clubs go, he's not worth the money he's paid on, something like that? Well, that's because the contracts are incentivized. The reason we couldn't get rid of Sterling is because Sterling came in before we incentivized the contracts. Do you know what I mean? So that's why he's on that big wage that he has. But it's just one of those things. Whether it works out or not, I don't know. But the thing is,
I just feel like the contract lengths are so long, you're amortizing their value so much that you've pre-spent all of your transfer spending for the next 3, 4, 5 seasons because you've maxed it out. You've put all the credit cards to the max for these players. I don't get it.
But the thing is this.
The only loophole for them to get out of this is the fact that they have so many youngsters to sell.
And also, I think
that's one thing I want to bring in. Like, it's good and all selling. They know how to sell players, which is fine. But what's the point of selling players if your main focus is not the first 11?
Yes,
I think you can still sell players, but selling players and bringing players in for your first 11 should be the core reason of making your business elite.
I think that's what
they're just selling players just to sell players. Then taking in Sancho for 25 mil, while the price is good, but the player himself will be good for 1 season, and you already have a bunch of Sanchos around you.
But here's the
thing. So you have already. So I mean, that model of selling players is nice, but if you can't improve the first 11, then it doesn't really add up to it. You're just selling players. It's a business thing. Only for business.
I think that's so that because everyone was going, and they might be still right. Everyone was going, they need to bring another centre back. But I think the feeling is they want to give these guys time. Do you know what I mean? They want to give like Fofana and Colwell a chance to. We haven't had a centre back partnership consistent in 2 years. Do you know what I mean? Like injuries and we haven't had that, and we have even a back four. We haven't even a back four. I can't remember the last time we've had a consistent back four at this club. Do you know what I mean? There's always been like injury or just rotation, and we've done that. And I think when you say that, I think my idea would be that they've done enough to actually get in the first team. It should only be an extraordinary player now that they try and sign. That should be it now. Like going forward, I still think we need a goalkeeper. Yesterday, I don't know if you saw it. There was the one shot that Crystal Palace had in the second half, right? It was the only shot they had apart from the goal. Sanchez goes to punch it, right? Not like try and catch it like that. He goes to punch it. And it just, because it was so hard, it skimmed off his fist and just went over like that.
Yeah.
This is the guy I'm dealing. He's a bozo. He's got a bozo gene. I don't know much about Jorgensen. It wasn't on my radar for buying a goalkeeper. I still think we need a goalkeeper. I still think we need a number 9. And that's where they failed. That's where they have failed in their recruitment. I don't care. I hate this now, this goalkeeper thing that all goalkeepers are now measured on if they can pass a frigging football first before they can, for what they can actually do in goal.
Sanchez isn't even good at that either, as it turns out.
But he's not. He's overrated. He's overrated at that. That's the thing. He's not even. He's like. He's like a llama.
Whether you like it or not, Strasbourg has a better keeper than you right now.
They do. Petrovic is better. Petrovic is better than him. He's better than him.
Genuinely not even that bad with his feet or anything, and it's just.
It's right. But he's a young goalkeeper who's going to make mistakes at the end of last season, and we saw that because he's a young goalkeeper. Yeah, because he can't because he can't put it on someone's foot 30 yards away. It's like, well, that's just rubbish. We gave up our best goalkeeper.
I agree. I think that the drama continues with Chelsea. We will see after the.
Oh yeah, it's going to be. Yeah, it's going to be like. It's going to be like.
Beautiful.
Oh,
anyway, listen, I'm gonna wrap up here.
You just drop one single point soon. I swear to God, just try it. Just drop one single point. I'll be here. I'll be in the chat. I swear to God, I'll say. I just don't. Just drop one single point, please. That's all.
Nobbins, you too.
Rent free in Chelsea fans' heads.
That's me instead of a guy right there. You know, I have never seen a fan base. I play with the Chelsea fan base like this, like with the strings, you know, just playing. You should have seen last week. You know, as soon as you beat Wolves, my watch along to just go like, you better beat Brentford. You better beat Brentford. I love it. I've started the rivalry with the Chelsea fans. Last year, I started the rivalry with the Spurs fans. Just remember, I always win at the end. So when yours
comes from a. You and I know where the history comes from with that. That's where we like just.
Yeah, people are like, "Oh, why do you hate Chelsea?" I said, "I'm like, no, Benitez and Mourinho. That's why
we literally played played each other like in every competition for like 5 years straight. It's like
4 years. We were the only club from the same country to be in the same exact group. Group. People don't know that shit right there. 2006. Anyway, listen, gonna wrap it up here. Big up to 20, Jack, James, JJ, Zir, Ed, Chombe, Red Lion, Matthew, and Jenny for the super chats. Big up every single super chatter. Thank you guys so much for showing us all the love. Nobbins' channel is in the description. Kunle's channel is in the description. Andrew, you can find him in Casual FC. Martin, is there anything to put in the description or just the freelance?
No. I can just be Kunle, you know.
That's fine. Big up to Martin, like and subscribe, and of course Clovis, absolutely fantastic debut. Big up for joining us, my brother. Make sure you guys are liking and subscribing. Hold that value, fraud. You guys tomorrow, inshallah.